Really proud of the response from this team. After a really disappointing week last week, adversity kind of hits in that game, and you start to realize, you're going to be out without some guys who've played a critical role in helping us get to this point. And, I think really good teams, that's, the next guy steps up and the next guy performs. And tonight, you had a lot of that. And I know we're going to talk about those guys individually, but as a team, I couldn't be more proud of the belief that they had, and tonight, there was some adversity in the game tonight, and, they never wavered, never faltered, just kept plugging away. And, you end up having a really good night here for senior night at home. But, I told them before this game, we're playing for one more game. We want to go down the tunnel one more time as a team this year. And so we've still got work to do. But, for us, tonight was a good way to bounce back. We just got to build off of it and try to keep playing our best ball going forward.
Coach, you talked about so many different guys being able to step up. How much of a testament is that to just everyone being available to when a play needs to be made? It doesn't matter who it is. Somebody can just go make a play.
Yeah, that's, it's kind of what I was talking about is, it's, you don't know who it is. You never really know. And, the thing about opportunities is if you wait until it shows up, it's too late to prepare. And these guys, they didn't do that. You got to, it's a number of them that have just stepped up. They've prepared. They've worked their tails off. And then when they get their chance, they play well. And I think that's what really good teams do.
What was said between the first quarter and the second quarter to get your team kind of pumped up and get the momentum back?
Not a whole lot was said. When they ran out on our field at the 50-yard line, and I don't know what they were doing, started dancing around and yelling and pointing at us, kind of lit a fire a little bit. So, appreciate them for that. But, it was just, our guys are ready to go play. We did some things really well, some things we got to do a lot better. But the end of the day, you found a way to win, and that's what really matters.
The special teams, what Rob did, Kenny was great as always. Nathan had a great punt down there when you really knew. A lot of ways, they kind of, every time it looked like Troy was getting them momentum, the special teams did something to support.
We talked about what it was going to take as a team. Defensively, they were going to try to run the ball, and we were going to have to play really tough against the run. You got to kind of take it personally when someone comes in there and says that's what they're going to do. Offensively, we knew we had to get points on the board. We had to drive the ball and score and put pressure on them. And we said on special teams we had to dominate. I felt like we had a better unit, player for player. I think Coach Giuliani and Coach Schwann's had a great plan for these guys. Our long snapper, this morning woke up sick, so he didn't play today. So Hunter Sims had to step in and handle both roles and did a phenomenal job, played his best game of the year. So, that's one that maybe people don't even notice, but it's not easy to do. All he does is short snaps, and then he had to long snap for punts, and he executed like a freaking pro. So, really proud of that unit. They scored to get it within, 6 or 7, whatever it was, and then, we take a kick back to the house, and, it's well blocked. Those guys are straining up front, trying to hold up, and Rob does the rest. And that was beautiful, man. You just, needed something good to happen there. I thought it was going to have to be a drive for a touchdown, and the kicker hit it a little fat, and we got the ball in the field of play, and they blocked it up, and Rob did the rest. It was huge.
So I'm assuming Draylen got hurt in the game. He didn't play in the second half, and it made it tough. Like you're trying to run out the clock with a lead, but you didn't have much of a running game. Just talk about how that kind of complicates it.
Well, it very much complicates it. Bill was a little banged up in that game too, and he pushed through and played. It's great to have 3 backs until you don't, So it's, we rely on those guys being ready to go. We got to do a great job getting them back as fast as we can. We're better when we got all 3 of them. And, we didn't run the ball very well tonight. And, it's a number of things, some of it's them, some of it's us. A lot of things we could have done a little bit better there, but, we got to get that figured out. Under 100 yards rushing is, that's certainly not something that we're accustomed to. So, we'll get in the tape and we'll figure it out. But, fortunately, we're able to generate enough offense in other ways.
Can you talk about Chandler? The passing. There was a lot on the passing game tonight. And not only Chandler, but some receivers. Lance had a great game. The passing game we talked about last week needed to bear you out, and it kind of did tonight.
I don't think you can say enough about Chandler and the way he's handled himself through everything. He is an absolute pro in his approach and the way he comes in here. There is probably no better teammate that I've ever been around than Chandler. And it's not just a great teammate. He's a freaking player. I mean, he gets out there and he makes plays. I mean, he made it go today. He made some unbelievable throws, and he made it go. Last week, I was a little disappointed in the throw game. You know, I felt like we had some opportunities there and some catches that we could and should make, and we have all year, and we didn't. Tonight, we made them. Everyone made them. Harvey, Tavion, Terrence made an unbelievable catch on a second and long that we really need. I mean, tonight was what it needed to be, and that was – we challenged them, you know, and the thing I love about this team is they don't take it personal. You know, they want to be challenged. They want to be coached. They want to be pushed. And, you know, they can take hard coaching. You know, I mean, I say it all the time, this team is rare. It's uncommon. It's a team that it's a throwback team. It's a group of guys that they're just worried about going out there and winning a game for their team. I mean, we challenged them to block better, and they were blocking their asses off on the perimeter. Like, you know, everything you ask them to do that receivers don't want to do, they did. You know, can't say enough about those guys because we needed it tonight. I mean, that was how we had to generate offense. And, I mean, they showed up and they played their tails off for us.
Just like you said, like the team was rare. What do you do or what do you say to get your team to, like, what is your main key of success for the season? Like, just getting the best out of them and everything.
It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them. And that group of seniors tonight was about as special as they can be. Those 20 guys mean a whole lot to this program. You know, coaches can say whatever they want. Look, if you as a coach have to get them motivated to play, I mean, you're spinning your wheels. Those guys show up every day. What y'all don't see is y'all don't see the work in the week that leads up to this. You know, and I wish people could. Because whenever I tell you Tuesday's practice was the highest intensity practice we've had since fall camp. That's how hard they went. That's how hard they go. That's how bad they want to win. And when you have player-led teams like that with guys that are like that, it as a coach, man, it's so much fun. I've never had more fun coaching in my life than I am this year. You know, we've won a bunch of games, but it ain't even about that. Every day you show up, and it's not pulling teeth. You're not begging for effort. These guys show up and they work like no one else I've ever been around. I mean, we've had you can count on one hand the bad practices we've had since spring, and that's why they win. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just fortunate I get to be a part of it.
The defense had its moments. It had its struggles because Troy played well, I thought. I mean, they did a lot of really good things on offense, and the quarterback was fabulous. But got some interceptions, got some sacks when you need them. Just talk about the defense.
Our defense is stingy, you know. I mean, you know, the first touchdown they scored in the second half, they hit a trick play, got us on a trick play, good play by them. Really, the other touchdown, you know, was a reverse as well, you know, and we should have been able to stop that one. The first one, pretty good. You know, they're playing really good right now. I mean, I've said that before the game. I know people think everybody just says it. They're playing really good. I mean, the last 4 games, those guys have been freaking lights out. You know, they're scoring a bunch of points. They're averaging 32 points a game over the last 3 games. They found a formula that works for them. I think they run the ball really well. I think the quarterback tonight was outstanding. I mean, I thought he made some big plays in that game. Their wideouts, number 7, I mean, he made some catches. It was their best against our best. And we're in great coverage. It's a great throw, great catch. You can live with that. Like, you know, I mean, the second touchdown, I think, was the fade. I mean, we're all over it. We're covering it. Great throw, great catch. That's football. I mean, I think they're a really good team. I think Coach Parker has done a phenomenal job. You know, after the start that they had, for those guys to just still be bought in and believing like that, you know, he's done a phenomenal job, him and his staff. And those kids, they play their tails off. They always play hard. It doesn't matter, Troy. I mean, when you play them, they just got those types of kids. They're like ours. And when you go out there, you better be ready to go.
Coach, could you just speak to what this senior class has meant to this program, all the guys, how they come together and helped you guys build what you are at this point?
Well, you know, it's a group that they were here when things were really good, right? And we had some of the best years we've ever had. And that's special to be a part of that. And then they chose to stay, you know, when the college football world kind of flipped on its head, you know, after the 2021 season. You got the transfer portal and you got freaking NIL and you got all this crap going on. You got a head coaching change, which we know now is one of the hardest things to survive. They stayed. And they chose to stay because they believe in this place. They believe in each other. You know, I'd like to think a little bit of belief in me, I hope. But they stayed and they worked their tails off. And for the last 2 years, we were knocking on the door to get back in it. And we were so close. I mean, agonizing sometimes. Honestly, being up here, it's tearing me apart because they deserve more. And this year they deserve to go out as conference champions again. They deserve to have another one of the best seasons we've ever had in this school history. They deserve all those things. And that should mean a lot to everybody that cares about this program. If you can't see that these guys are special and the fact that they chose to stay when we had all this stuff going on, everyone's telling them otherwise. If you can't see how special this group is, then hell, either you don't pay attention, you don't care, or you just want something to complain about. But this group right here is just different. And I'll never, you know, I'm enjoying every second of it, you know. So we want to get one more game so we can keep playing with this team and keep doing this thing.